Hi, it's Siobhán Fletcher, one of the journalists up at Manx Radio. Welcome to this latest edition of our newscast. This week, the Isle of Man is playing host to over 50 travel writers from the British Guild of Travel Writers. Founded in 1960, the Guild is a community of over 250 accredited writers, photographers, authors, podcasters, bloggers and broadcasters. It's seen as the trusted body for independent editorial comment and expert content on UK and worldwide travel. Visit Isle of Man won the bid to host the group's annual general meeting and convention for 2024, which sees visiting members on the island for 5 days. Stuart Render is the Guild's Joint Chair and Awards Director. He says members will be treated to a range of activities across the island this week. Can you tell me a little bit about what you're going to get up to, what's on the cards, and a little bit about tonight as well?
Well, we're absolutely delighted to have been invited by Visit Isle of Man to come to the island and discover the many stories that the island has to offer. We've brought some 50 or so travel journalists, they're travel writers, they're photographers, they're broadcasters, they're bloggers, and these are people who write and produce content for many of the leading magazines and newspapers in the UK. And I think what's exciting about this, many of them are coming into the island for the first time. I've been coming to the island for many years. I know a lot about it. It is just magnificent. And I think what they have in store over these next few days, as well as tonight in terms of the launch of the Manx Menu, which is just a magnificent idea. We can always have more food, it's great. But I think what they're going to discover over these next few days is just the breadth and the variety of places to go, things to do, and all of that on the island. And I just think it's magnificent. And at the end of the day, the real benefit in this, when they produce their articles and they produce their broadcasts and their blogs and they take photographs, it will encourage more and more people to come and visit the island on holiday in the future.
And so can you tell me a little bit of some of the things you've got on the itinerary then? What are they going to get up to?
Well, for me personally, I've always enjoyed the trams and the trains. A few years ago, I enjoyed a Segway ride up in the forest, and it was great. But on this tour, the team at Visit Isle of Man have been magnificent in looking at what each individual member who's come across wants. Everybody wants a slightly different story, but the team at Visit Isle of Man have said, right, that's what you want. So if we craft this itinerary to make it work for you, and it's refreshing that we have a tourist team here on the island who has done that. Sometimes we have events where you go and everybody does the same thing. Mm-hmm. That's not the case here. So this is really good, it's really refreshing, and I'm really excited about the results that will come out of this.
And obviously we're here tonight about the Manx Menu, so that idea as well of local produce and local food, it's, are you hoping that the Guild members who've come over are going to really be able to kind of shine a light on our local produce here on the Isle of Man and, big us up a little bit for people across the water?
I think the Isle of Man has so many different suppliers. I've heard that there are quite a lot of them who've not been able to come along, say, this evening. This is a huge opportunity for them, and we have another event and more events over the nights to come, for them to show what they have to offer. I think we're off to a distillery in Ramsey, we're off to all sorts of places. And I think coming out of that, it will demonstrate the breadth of choice, the breadth of opportunity, not only for our members to write about, but when then people come over to visit, there's so much to see. And sometimes I think the Isle of Man is a bit like a hidden gem. People think, oh, it's the Isle of Man, and they know about the TT. That's great. That's a very tiny part of what this island has to offer. And I hope over these next few days, our members are going to be able to write about so much more. And that in turn will encourage everyone to come and benefit the tourism economy of the island.
On Monday evening, the group attended the launch of a new campaign by government. The Manx Menu is a joint collaboration between Business Isle of Man and Visit Isle of Man and aims to celebrate the diverse and innovative ecosystem of local food and drink businesses and producers here on the island. Voting is now open for the initiative, which invites island residents to vote for their favourites. One of the companies which has signed up for the scheme is Fnoddery Distillery. I caught up with founder Tiffany Carouche.
It's really, really exciting. The Manx Menu is this brand new platform that is really showcasing the Isle of Man's culinary scene. We've all known that it's there, but this has really kind of pulled it together and it's showing it off to the world. And the timing's brilliant for this visit with the Guild of Travel Writers that are visiting the Isle of Man as well. Who would have thought the Isle of Man would be this culinary destination that it's becoming, but this is really now the case, as you can see tonight, with the complete wealth of different food producers and hospitality businesses that are here this evening.
And yourselves, obviously, we know full well here on the Isle of Man, like Fnoddery, it's like had a household name. This extra little boost across as well, surely that's something that's been welcomed?
Very welcome. It's a tricky time of year for everybody at this point. We're pulling ourselves out of winter, and we're really sort of gearing ourselves up for the summer, and to have something like this in February that really reminds people that we've got these wonderful producers here on the Isle of Man, and that we all really do need your support, and to be able to see how the different ingredients and produce, be it spirits or people that are growing ingredients or working their magic in kitchens, can all be brought together in such exciting and dynamic ways. It's really important and really wonderful to see.
This week also saw the launch of a new cookbook which aims to showcase local produce on the global stage. The new 2024 Island Kitchen Recipe Book is designed to illustrate the continued high standard of cuisine that can be found here by presenting signature dishes from the Isle of Man's finest chefs and restaurants. Miles Cowsill is the managing director of Lily Publications, the company behind the book. He says it's seen an immense amount of support from local suppliers, Robinsons.
So the new edition of the Island Kitchen is the third edition of the book. We first produced the first one in 2016. Next one was 2020, and then this one. And this brings the best of the first two books and a selection of new restaurants and new venues that have been included.
And it's sort of that the key thing here is that we're showcasing local produce, aren't we? I mean, it's a difficult time to be in business anywhere, but if we can boost these industries and these little, businesses on the island, that's got to be a good thing.
Well, the book sets out to do that. Robinsons have been a great support to me with all the books that we produced to date. Jana Hosthouse and I have been very keen to promote local businesses, and there are a lot of very good local businesses, including restaurants, producers, etc., and we really have to value these people because they're doing so much for the island.
And we've got the sort of so we've got a lot of travel writers over this week. Are we hoping that maybe that they'll take away from this week just how we're a special little island and we've got a lot of good food, that they've all got a copy of the book, that they'll sort of dig us up a bit elsewhere?
We have a very special island, and it was interesting to hear Deborah Heather talking about the weather that we have here. Yes, we do have periods of time of bad weather, but majority of the time it's very pleasant here. It's a lovely environment to live in, and we've got so much to offer here on the island, and I hope these people coming over will appreciate that, because probably a lot of them have never been here before.
Now, the twin launch of the cookbook and the Manx Menu was hailed as an opportunity to showcase local produce, businesses and individuals who are positively impacting the island's hospitality sector. The wide-ranging local offering is something Ministers Tim Johnston from Enterprise and Claire Barber of DEFA say we should be proud of.
Yeah, well, it's a really great night. We've got arrived today for sort of a week, the British Guild of Travel Writers. They're having their annual conference on the Isle of Man, which is fantastic. So that's a real coup to get them to come over here. So they're going to be looking around the island, really looking at everything we're doing, looking at the hospitality sector. So that's really exciting. Hopefully they're going to go away with lots of really positive views about the island. We're also launching today the Manx Menu, which I think you might have heard about and certainly been talked about recently in the media. Again, a really exciting opportunity for people to vote for their favourite Manx produce. And I think there's over 100 or so businesses that have signed up for this now, and so that's really great for people to get out and about, really showcase our fantastic produce from our farmers, our fishermen, and growers, and hopefully people can really enjoy some great food and remind everybody what fantastic produce we have here.
And with the Manx Menu, what's the sort of end outcome of that? Is that just to sort of give these businesses exposure? Is there a sort of a winner's prize? Like what's the situation with that?
Yeah, I think it is a competition. There will be the people will vote for their favourite dishes. So and whichever hospitality businesses will be involved in that, so it is a competition, and it is about making people aware of Manx produce. It's obviously getting people out and about, hopefully supporting hospitality businesses. It's a quiet time of year. It's great to get people out and about and also recognising what we have. So I think it's just a really positive opportunity.
So obviously having the guild over then, what's that mean as sort of a little boost for Manx produce, worldwide? If we can get this across to, even just across Britain, that how good our produce is.
I think absolutely that's a win, and I think it's not just taking them around to see the sites. We've got a really brilliant number of sites that they're going to go and see, whether that be Manx National Heritage, whether that be some of our just sort of vistas that we have around the island, but also that opportunity to really experience the produce, because I think that is all part of the rich tapestry that makes the Isle of Man, and having the opportunity to launch Manx Menu when they're here, so they get the opportunity to try foods at various functions they're going to be going to, but also see the broad range and the diversity, because I always think some people can't get their head around just how much actually you can fill your basket with Manx things, and that for me is what's really exciting about the Manx Menu, is the opportunity to show that whether it be from baked potatoes with Manx butter and Manx cheese, up to some really fancy cocktails and sort of everything in between. I really think the Manx Menu, when you look at the entries, there's something for everyone of every age with every appetite. I really think it'd be a great opportunity for people to go out, see whether their local establishments are supporting it, whether they're involved, and if they're not, ask them to be involved next time, because for me this has to be something we do again and again. And we're also have the Island Kitchen cookbook launching here today, but wouldn't it be great if off the back of this we start having our Manx Menu cookbook that becomes something where we start consolidating all of that. People can use those recipes, because I know I sometimes need a bit of inspiration in the kitchen. It all seems very simple, but if someone doesn't sort of tell you how to make it work, you think, I don't know where to start. So I think it's really great, and we've got some super talent across the island who've got imaginations that I'm hugely envious of.
Like you were just mentioning, this is something you would both like to see happen again, maybe more writers coming over, different groups, just to sort of showcase the island then.
Yeah, I mean, I think Guild can go away from this week with a really positive attitude about what we have to offer on the island, both hospitality and our tourist offering. Clearly we have a strategy, the visitor strategy, to grow our numbers up to 500,000 by 2032. We know that the sort of people who want to come to the island, they're outdoorsy, they enjoy food, they want to understand what we have to offer. So this is a great way of getting us to really a wider view to the world, really, of what the opportunities we have here, and helping us to build our hospitality sector and grow our visitor numbers.
And I think the other thing that's really exciting actually is the accolades that our produce is already getting around the world. So we want the writers who are here to tell that story, but we also know that it's already been recognised. So we know that our scallops, for example, have been recognised as the only sustainable scallops that you can eat worldwide. Now that is a massive, massive piece of information that we've got because of the hard work of our fishermen, and I think that's something we should celebrate. We know we've got people with a number of stars, accolades, awards all over the place, and actually isn't this the great opportunity to celebrate that?
Thank you for making it to the end of the Little Manx Radio newscast. You are obviously someone with exquisite taste. May I politely suggest you might want to subscribe to this and a wide range of Manx Radio podcasts at your favourite podcast provider, so our best bits will magically appear on your smartphone. Thank you.